Hello everybody, in this video I'm going to talk about the upcoming pattern which will face some severe weather for the next few days, but it will not be a huge threat, but there will be like a few storms every day, and there will be some rain in the northeast possibly too. A little bit of more rain now, some heavier rain, more heavier than we've seen lately. But also I wanted to take a look at the tropical weather. So this is Tropical Storm Barry that was located at 10 p.m. Where I'm not sure. I think about like 30 miles from the coast of Mexico. It doesn't say here. And there's a tropical storm warning for this portion of the coast of Mexico. It's 45 miles per hour. The wind is 45 miles per hour. And it's gonna be a tropical depression right after it landfalls. I'm even surprised that it became a tropical storm, but by Friday afternoon it'll be gone. Now, I wanted to go to the Storm Prediction Center and take a look at the current watches. Now, if you take a look at this, you see there were 2 watches earlier across New Mexico and Texas, but these expired. So let's take a look at the current watches. They're exclusively up into Montana. So this is the old one. But this one will get cut off soon. It's featuring a lot of heavy rain and mainly some wind across this area. There's a large mass of heavy rain across northern Montana. But then this new watch was issued to the eastward. Okay, here we go. And this features some pretty much moderate for all threats. Severe wind, 65 knot plus wind, severe hail, and 2-inch plus hail. It's all moderate, but the tornado threat is still low. This is including northeast Montana from Lewistown up to Glasgow and Jordan and Miles City, with this squall line that's pushing up to the northeast. So that's the main threat. Meanwhile, this heavy rain will cause some flash flooding, and there's lots of warnings here. I'm quickly gonna take you to the radar, and you see there's lots of warnings along this line, including flash flood warnings too. It's mainly some wind, but with some of the stronger storms there's some hail possible too, and maybe even a brief tornado. But I don't see any. I don't know why this symbol is shown here, because there's no rotation here. I don't know why they put it here, but the main threat is wind, and I don't really see any good radar sight to take care of this. Can you guess this one? Yeah, but anyway, this is not important. What's important, I'm gonna go through the outlooks for the next few days. And this is for tonight. And this features 2 slight risk areas, still one down into Texas. Even though it's weakening, there's still a chance of storms down here, and then across much of Montana and North Dakota. Also, there's some storms here in Georgia, in southern Georgia, possible. Now, the main threat is wind, and there's like a threat for significant wind across north central Montana, and into Texas too, and even maybe a wind gust or 2 even in the Gulf Coast. For hail, the threat is lower, but there's still a threat for a lesser threat than wind, but it's still an isolated threat for hail, maybe even significant hail across north central Montana. Now for tomorrow, there'll be a large area of severe weather for portions of North Dakota, South Dakota, Minnesota, and Iowa, and that's really gonna be pretty hammered. Could be a pretty big event for that area. Like, I'm thinking there'll be lots of damaging wind. It'll be like scattered damaging wind and isolated significant hail. And then this shows for day 3, which would be Friday, it shows even more, because I'm thinking that if they issue the 30% hatch risk 2 days out, then it might be a moderate risk. Although a moderate risk would not be needed for Friday's threat. It's not big enough, but I'm surprised they issued a 30% hashed area that far out. But the areas from Minnesota all the way to Colorado and Nebraska, it's including a big stretch of the central high plains. Also, there will be some storms in the southeast for Mississippi and Alabama, maybe Georgia. There'll be another MCS. There's like one after another coming for the southeast, so there will be lots of pop-up rainstorms all across the region, and that's like pretty much the setting up pattern for the next 10 days. Now, before I go to my forecast, I wanted to quickly take a look at the storm reports, and like we had 2 tornado reports. It was mainly in Texas. Yeah, there's one in Texas and one in New Mexico. It was like a few tornadoes, and there were a few funnels in Montana too. There's some wind in South Carolina and near Savannah too. Also, another thing I wanted to show was the current frontal analysis and surface analysis. I mean, so see why we have strong storms across the Gulf Coast is because this cold front is moving to that region. So pretty much from Mississippi to South Carolina, that's where the front is. That's why we're getting a few storms in there. Now we're getting a break north of that front, but see this next front moving into the region, and that will be in the southeast by tomorrow evening. So there could be some pop-up showers and storms across the southeast tomorrow evening again with this next front. And then you see this next front comes in, and that will be by Sunday. So again, as I said, there will be lots of rain in the southeast. We're getting plenty above average rainfall, so I think I might be revising my summer forecast. I need to think about revising my summer forecast a little bit and extend that above average rainfall a little north. Also, we got this front up here, this system up here, that's causing the severe weather in Montana, and then this front is gonna come out in here by tomorrow and gonna cause the severe weather in this region, and this low in here causing the severe weather back in Texas. And now I wanted to go to my outlooks. Okay, so I'm gonna go to my outlooks. Where are they? Here. Now this is for tonight, for the rest of tonight, and I think that there will be some strong storms in portions of Alabama, Florida, southern Georgia, South Carolina, and even North Carolina for tonight. Maybe a wind gust or two, and then there'll be some severe storms for much of this region, from Nebraska down into Colorado, and then were scattered throughout across Texas, as a few clusters here slowly move east, and a few remnants of it might emerge up here. Maybe a brief spin up or two. But the bigger threat for tonight remains across portions of Montana and North Dakota in this region, and where you see the black box, that's where an isolated significant hail and wind threat will be possible best across this area. Although as the night progresses, the isolated significant hail wind will slowly move east, but it will become more isolated still. This is for tomorrow. Yeah, this is the forecast for tomorrow, and there will be a large area for the strong storm possibility across the middle of the country. Maybe even maybe a shower or two, maybe a storm or two across the southeast as this front approaches. But the main story will be this front and this front. They'll be producing the severe weather here. This red area will be really watching for some damaging wind and hail, and the black box is scattered significant large hail and isolated significant damaging wind. That's in the black box for tomorrow. That's including portions of eastern North Dakota, eastern South Dakota, and western Minnesota. And now this is the pattern. This is the weather pattern for this weekend and much of next week. And I'm gonna take a little more time to talk about this. Now, first off, you see this orange, yellow reddish area, the gradient area here. Now let's read what I put here. The confidence is increasing in a moderate impact severe weather event. At this time, the chances for a severe weather outbreak are small. So pretty much this front in here, this will dive south, and that'll bring an increasing threat for damaging wind across this colored area here. But it doesn't look still that big to issue a moderate risk. We will see, but if they issue a moderate risk, then almost definitely it will be a bust. But 30% hash is reasonable. Now, this is by Friday and the weekend. Then you see these arrows. The front moves east, south, east, maybe southeast a little bit. Like, it'll move like this. It will move like that, like an Alberta, like a summer Alberta Clipper track with rain and storms instead of snow. Now here we got this large green area over much of the northeast and the mid-Atlantic. Now what this states is heavy rainfall and non-severe thunderstorm potential, but confidence in the forecast is low at this time. So I'm thinking there could be some heavy rain and non-severe thunderstorms, maybe some strong thunderstorms, maybe a few wind gusts, but they should not be severe. And they will be across the northeast, but the main spread will be some heavy rain across the northeast, I think, because the system is gonna stay a while in the northeast. Meanwhile, it will be dry and hot in the southwest. It'll be scorching there and no rain. And now let's take a look at this area. This is the area south of this black line. Now that's a ridge. Alright, let's put it that way. There's just a box that I outlined. Now, south of this black line, including portions of the middle south, southern plains, and much of the southeast, there is a heat wave spreading east, and some MCS with scattered thunderstorm and heavy rain potential. So pretty much the heat wave that will start up in the plains, it will slowly move east, and it'll be really hot in this region, and then once this front pushes out, it will get into the northeast, and it will be hot pretty much everywhere. Like I'm thinking it could be low to mid 90s as far north as West Virginia. Definitely a good potential for 90s and 100s across the south, low 100s maybe, but it looks to be hot according to all models. And then the fronts all move north. There'll be some pop-up storms and showers that will form numerous MCS every other day pretty much, and so that will be producing lots of scattered rain and thunder. But that's about it, and there will be more updated forecasts for the pattern tomorrow and the days to come. Thank you for watching. Please leave feedback on how you like the map, especially this map, because this one is pretty cool. I think you'll like it. But anyway, have a good night and thank you for watching.